I want to ask you for another example, and this is one we talked about before, Matthew 5:21-22. I think that I heard this one and I'm like, okay, that's like the connections there after you say it, it's like, oh, that's obvious, but I don't know that I would have ever made these connections myself.
You've heard that it was said by them of old time, thou shalt not kill, and whoever shall kill shall be in danger of the judgment.
Mm-hmm.
But I say unto you that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment, and whosoever shall say to his brother, Raca,
Mm-hmm.
shall be in danger of the council, and whosoever shall say, thou fool, shall be in danger of hellfire.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I want to ask the people that are in the audience,
Yeah.
how many have ever heard their pastor, or anyone else for that matter, ever
Mm-hmm.
preach or give a sermon or an exegesis on this particular subject?
Mm.
And the answer to that question is probably very few.
Okay. And certainly, even if an exegesis was given, if an explanation was given, it's not what you're about to explain. He read it to me from Franz Delitzsch's Hebrew and then explained it. And I'm like, well, that makes perfect sense. Like the people in the audience would have understood this. These were Jews in the audience at the Sermon on the Mount, standing there at the bottom of the mountain as as Yeshua was teaching and preaching, and they understood these things.
שמעתם כי נאמר לקדמונים, לא תרצח, ואשר ירצח מיוחב הוא לבית דין.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we might explain that in the first century in Judaism,
Mm-hmm.
they had certain courts of law.
Mm.
And they had the Bet Din, which was the house of judgment, that was actually a congregational court.
Mm-hmm.
But they also had additional courts that were called Sanhedrin.
Mm-hmm.
And the people that are watching may be more familiar with the term Sanhedrin.
Yeah.
Than,
Which is the same thing
with,
as Sanhedrin.
than with the Bet Din. But
Okay,
they had
yeah.
a small Sanhedrin,
Mm-hmm.
and they had a large Sanhedrin.
Right.
And the large Sanhedrin sat in Jerusalem, the council at Sanhedrin, 71 members of the great Sanhedrin.
Yeah.
And this says, but whosoever shall say to his brother, Raca, shall be in danger of the Sanhedrin.
Mm.
But whosoever Yomar Tahanaval.
Wow. Yeah, this is the part. Explain what that means.
Tahanaval.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go to this book,
Yeah.
Every Man's Talmud,
Okay.
and I'm going to open it to page 3 that has to do with the doctrine of God, and I'm going to read.
Please.
Right here. Whether atheism, in the sense of dogmatic denial of God's existence, was accepted by anybody in biblical times and rabbinic times is doubtful. But both in the Bible and the Talmud, the concern was with the practical atheist who conducted his life as though he would never have to be accounted to for his deeds. In the biblical literature, the statement, there is no God, is made by the Naval. In other words, the morally corrupt person who, while acknowledging the existence of a creator, refused to believe that he was at all interested in the action of his creatures. His counterpart in the Talmud is the Apikoros, or the Epicurean, who likewise denies the fundamental principle of religion by his abominable conduct. The rabbis defined the atheist as one who affirmed there is no judgment and no judge in the universe, irrespective of his disbelief in the existence of God. And the whole deal is that in the biblical text, in Psalms, chapter 14, verse 1, it says,
Mhm.
what? The fool
Yeah.
has said in his heart, there is no God.
So what you're saying, what you're doing here is you're tying this all together. You're using here a Jewish resource, and what people didn't see is in the book there are all these notes. Baba Batra, 16b, etc. In other words, this rabbi isn't just making things up; he's basing it on ancient Jewish sources, and you're tying all that together with Psalm 14:1 and Psalm 53:1, where it says in both of those, the Naval says in his heart, the fool says in his heart, there is no God. And when Yeshua says, don't call a man a fool, essentially, right? I'm paraphrasing. But if you call a man a fool, then you'll be subject to the hellfire or whatever. That explain what you explained yesterday, what that means. What is he really saying here? What does it mean to call someone a fool?
What it means, the Naval is that this person is separated from God.
Mm.
He's not in any kind of relationship with God. He doesn't care about God. We would say that he was an atheist today, but that's not the term that they were using. It's
Right.
that he was an individual who might have believed that there was a God, but didn't believe that in any way he was responsible for his own actions.
And what you explained yesterday is that Jesus is saying, when he says, if you say, you fool, you'll be liable to the hellfire, what I understood from you yesterday is he's saying, don't question somebody else's relationship with the creator of the universe. Is that,
Well, once you do,
yeah,
you have made yourself to be God.
I want to reiterate this. This is powerful stuff, because what I've encountered with a lot of Christians is, and I don't think this is just Christians, but I've seen this with a lot of Christians and even some Jews. Well, they'll say, well, that person has the wrong doctrine. Oh, that person's relationship with God is not right. We have the correct thing over here, and those people are wrong, and they're not, and they don't have. And what I understood from you yesterday is that when he says don't, and if you say Naval, you'll be liable to hellfire. It's not just you're saying the person is stupid. You're saying he doesn't.
They're lost.
See it?
They're separated from God.
And so you should not accuse someone of being separated from God.
No, because that's not up to you. That's not
Wow.
your a decision to make. Judge not that you be not judged.
Amen. Wow. Wow.